Good afternoon, my viewer, my subscriber. That's right, you. I'm talking to you. Maureen Sky, but I'm not Crafty Sky Lady anymore, it wants to come out as that. I keep wanting to quickly say that because that's what I'm so used to. However, new name of the channel because I wanted to be more of just a storyteller, a chatter, someone to just come and talk with you versus all the crafts and stuff that I also like to do. But anyway, we'll get into that, and I've already explained all that in a couple other videos, recent ones that you can see. My new name, obviously, is Silver Senior Chatty Sky. That's me. And today it's a lovely afternoon. The sun's coming out. It wasn't this morning. It was a little gloomy, but it looks like it's sunny out there, so I'm taking advantage of the lighting as well. But anyway, I'm in my back room, and yes, it can be a little bit of a clutter here and there because I work out here. However, we've done a lot out here organizing, so this is far more organized than it was the background, just so you know. Anyway, I wanted to talk today about makeup. I enjoy putting makeup on. I'm 73, like I talk about in many of my other videos, and I've been putting makeup on since the early teenage years, here and there, not every day, but I do enjoy makeup, and if I go out and about, I want a little makeup on, even if it's just up to the general store. Rarely will I go out without putting, a little cream or a little vitamin E oil on my face or something to give it a little more of a glow. And the reason I chose makeup as a topic today is because I think in a man's eye, many men don't care for makeup on a woman, and they might tell their woman, or, just speaking in general, that I don't want a woman who wears makeup. But I think that statement comes from a place of a bit of ignorance, in a sense, and I say that not to put men down or anything. No, we love men. But what I'm saying is when one might state that comment, I don't think they totally get it or understand or have taken the time to understand that for a woman, makeup and skincare is fun, and for me, I can speak for me, it makes me feel better about myself, how I'm representing myself out in the world, or even just home, not necessarily going to see anybody, but it even makes me feel better about my day. Just as I'm working out here, no one's really going to see me, not really, unless I do a video and come to the YouTube world, but in my audience. But what I'm getting at is, no matter what age, for me over the years, whenever I put a little makeup on, I always felt better about myself. And today is no exception. And I say that too, being the youngest of 4, there were 2 boys and 2 girls, all close in age. So my sister, who was a year older than me, was very much into makeup, and she was always in the mirror. She was, and my mom liked her little bit of makeup too, and pretty women, beautiful women. And so, I learned a lot that way from my sister and my mother a little bit. Not that either one of them wore it heavily, no, but just enough to enhance their features. And I'm hoping that I have learned to do the same. It took me a while. I was more of a slow learner in that regard. I could remember one day as a teenager experimenting with, some makeup, and we never had real expensive stuff, so it was something from like back then it would have been Mammoth Mart or King's or Ames, those stores, very much like a Walmart, or maybe the Five and Dime store downtown or something, but never anything high-end costly makeup. But I can remember I had a little palette of eyeshadows, and I was about, I don't know, maybe 14 at the time. And I don't remember anyone else in the house in that, but it was just me and my mother. And I came out of my bedroom after putting some makeup on, and it really was distasteful and not a color that complemented my dark eyes. And it was kind of effervescent kind of, but it was also like a pea green. I don't know what I was thinking. And I put it on and some other stuff, a little mascara perhaps or whatever. And I came out and she went, "Oh, what are you wearing?" And of course I was sensitive, so that really kind of bothered me. I went, "Well, I just tried some different makeup." "Well, go take that off. That is not looking good on you," she tells me. And my mom would tell you, but anyway, I hope, and my sister, I learned a lot by watching her put makeup on and this and that. But anyway, it's been a work in progress. It's over the years. And of course, the products change as well. They change, and there's so much on the market today. Oh my God. And I was just looking at I'll just reference some here. I've got my computer open so I can kind of reference a little what I want to tell you. But I had asked a Google search in regard to, in dollars and cents, tell me how much makeup is actually sold just in the United States alone in last year for 2025. And it couldn't give me an exact number because it's looked at a little differently the way they separate everything. But anyway, there is no official publicly available figure for the total amount of makeup sold in the United States in 2025. The U.S. Census of Agriculture and other government data sets do not track cosmetic sales by category. National Agricultural Statistics Service and no major retail or industry report has released a consolidated 2025 makeup sales total. However, we can estimate based on available industry data. Okay, so the U.S. cosmetics market, including makeup, skin care, and fragrances, so that encompasses all of that, is valued at roughly 40 to 50 billion annually. And this is just the U.S. Wow, isn't that something? And look at that, folks. And that's makeup alone encompasses foundations, lipsticks, eyeshadows, mascaras, and other beauty products. Typically represents about 30 to 40% of the total cosmetics market. It just blows me away how far we've come with a lot of that. But I just wanted to do it because I think that, a woman, say, when a guy meets a woman, I mean, he might have met her wearing makeup. So to marry her and then, continue on their life, and yet to want to restrict her in a sense of, wearing makeup out in public or wearing makeup in general because he doesn't want her to. Well, you have to ask yourself, well, why would he be saying that? Why would he not want her to beautify herself and make herself feel better for herself and for him to satisfy him in a sense? And he would be, one would think, proud to take her, like eye candy out in the world or whatever. But I think a lot of that, when you have a man that's doing that, it has to be, the jealous factor kind of kicks in. Whereas, she's looking too good to him, that he don't want her attracting the eye of all these other men and other people, perhaps. I mean, I don't know. I just think that this is all my opinion, folks. But I just think that, in today's world, and how far we've come with things, for a man to say that to a woman is kind of, like I said, I believe it's an ignorance factor, whereas they more or less haven't done their homework, let's say, to say, or even have the right to say that to, and I hope that the woman, much not like me when I was married early on, and hope that they, in today's world, have a voice, if I'm making any sense, and speak up and say, well, I enjoy makeup and I'm going to continue wearing it. Thank you very much, right? Why wouldn't we? Because I can tell you that now what I put on today for me at 73 is I always, put the washcloth, a hot washcloth, and get all that sleep out of my eyes and stuff in the morning. Okay, and then I might hold that washcloth there just to get that nice moisture, and just let it just sit there, kind of pat it and let that water just cool. And you can do cool water, it doesn't have to be hot. You can go back to the cool water and let it just, soak right in there all around. And your neck too, don't forget your neck, And then once that's done and kind of soaked in nice, I'll just let it air dry. And then I'm taking, just from the dollar store, I'm not spending a lot of money, some vitamin E oil. And it's liquid, and, I just get that on my lips and nice, and you can feel that soaking in so nicely. Oh my goodness. It feels so good and refreshing. And then I have always loved using Pond's moisturizing cream, dry skin cream, Pond's. That's the product I like, and that, again, isn't expensive, but it always worked for me. Now, there are others I've loved over the years as well, but I found some of that stuff really makes my eyes and nose really water. I'm prone to allergies, I guess, so I have to be careful what I use. But I find that those two products I can tolerate, and that also allows me enough moisture to then start. And all I use is I think it's CoverGirl there, the tube concealer stick, and I use like a fair shade, just very fair to medium shade that, and I'll start with, putting a little here. It comes like a lipstick, and I'll use it here, and it's just beige foundation type of concealer, and it's just where those dark spots are. I might put some here and here, and I'll go like that and get it in there, because I have these little things here. I got a little something over here, a little mark, so I put some there. There's a little brown spot wanting to happen up here, so I'm trying to hide that. But in our DNA, in my family, more on my father's side of things, is the big dark rings. When we're tired, they show up more. So I want to hide those, right? So I'm going to use concealer stick under there and up in there, the corners, on both, and then even, some on the lids. And I take my hand and a little down here and maybe under here a little bit, and any place where there might be little red lines, the red marks around here, little capillary things, whatever they call them. All right, so then I'm just taking my ball of my fingers and I'm going to rub that in good, right? And then I'm just I have no eyebrows now at this age. I used to, if we go back to pictures of me at, 16, 17, and when I got married at age 20, my wedding pictures, I've got big, thick, they almost came together, those Italian dark eyebrows. And over the years, I've just lost all of that. And now, being gray, silver, you can't see them. So obviously, I've got to take a pencil, and it's more of a charcoaly brownish color with a little gray in it. But I have to paint those in, and that took some getting used to. But so that I even look like I have eyebrows, for gosh sake. So if I didn't wear all that, I can see a difference. I think I lose or gain 7 to 10 years going backwards of more youthful looking when I put some makeup on. And so that's another reason. Again, feeling good about yourself. I feel better when I put a little makeup on. I feel more worthy of getting in front of a camera and doing a YouTube video. I feel more worthy of going up the street and, running into an old high school friend or somebody who remembers me, and, I'm not looking like I'm ready for, to be pushing up daisies or something anytime soon, and it's just a little pride thing. But why not? Why not feel proud or feel good about yourself? Why should we be left, to the wayside because we're now in that senior category? We still are alive. We still have a life to live, and we're not dead yet. We want to feel good about ourselves. But even if I was 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, all those years, each and every year wearing makeup probably represented a little something different about how I felt. But the overall picture is it made me feel better, gave me confidence. And God knows I lacked a lot of self-esteem over the years. So yeah, I'm one to wear a little bit of makeup. And to have had a spouse or anyone, male or female, tell me, I can't wear makeup anymore, and put that, comment over me, or make me feel like I gotta answer to that or adhere to that. No. Don't do that, folks. If anyone's telling you that, they need to re-examine where that feeling and that comment, where are they going with this? Where is it coming from? Is it a jealousy thing or something? Because don't they realize that a little bit is really enhancing your looks? If you put it on right, I'm not saying cake it on and, make yourself look like a, Mardi Gras mask or something. No. But, a little bit, I see a big difference. I should do of me with no makeup and me with a little bit. There's a big difference. And, yeah, it's just, like I said, it's just a feel-good thing. And God knows, in this crazy mixed-up world of ours, who doesn't want to take the effort to make themselves feel better, right? I certainly do. And like I said, I learned from the best. My mother and my sister were a little vain, and they knew it. If they were still sitting here, they'd be laughing or agree with me. But It came from a place of vanity. But anyway, it is one of those things. It's like I said, it's I think some men too around might just take that for granted. It takes time. It takes time to put a little on. But taking that, what's that song, waiting on a woman? Well, yeah, there is all of that going on too, but it's worth it, guys. It's worth it, folks. Right? Yeah. And even the men today, some wear makeup. Just to make themselves feel better. I mean, it's not just a woman thing anymore, a female. It's both genders, and they're doing it. Why? Because it enhances their looks. It makes them feel good. Some of it has a nice scent to it even. So, I mean, have at it and let us do our thing, right? That's right. I'm all for that. And that's my topic today. That's where I'm going with this. Yeah, I just, and nail polish and getting your nails done, or doing your own nails. I do my own. I mean, I did get my nails done years ago, and I would go for a while. But boy, I tell you, I had a bad situation where I would go and have them, what do they call it? The glue, they would glue nails on top. Forget what it's all called, but anyway, the top nails, fake nails, and then you'd leave them on for a week or two, and then you're supposed to go back or get that off the top nail, and not let it stay on too long, because your real nail could start growing into that. Well, I went, and being, more money conscious than I am at times, I did. I went into week 2 or week 3 with them, and what happened was the thumb did start doing that, and it got real bad, infected, and I'm telling you, painful as all get out. I could barely do anything with the pain, and I had to go on antibiotics, and I told myself, there's no way I will do that again. So if I'm going to have polish on my nails, they're my nails. I'm doing it, and I've never really been able to grow them too long, and I sit and file them with a cuticle file when I'm sitting watching TV at night. But I generally, if you see me with nail polish, and I do like to wear different nail polish, it's gonna be, these are my original, and it's something I did, and I don't do the best job. I'm not fancy with them at all. And granted, I think some of them look so beautiful and that, but boy, you got to be careful and follow all the rules exactly as they say in these nail salons, and that, don't go too long with that, because that can be pretty painful and pretty bad for you. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to say that. I found that little bit of information interesting. And, male or female, if you're so inclined and you've been in the mood thinking about getting some new makeup, go buy yourself some new makeup, folks. And have a ball. Get in front of the mirror. Get yourself cleaned up. Do a facial, whatever, and then put a little makeup on. Do your hair. And then tell me. I want to know. Get out with your friends. Go for a couple drinks somewhere or something. Or out with nature. Or anywhere you like going. With your friends, family, whatever. But I bet you're going to get more compliments than you ever imagined. And on top of it all, you're going to feel better. Don't we all want to feel good in this crazy mixed up world? Of course we do. Go do it. And until we meet again, I certainly hope the universe provides I truly do. And what I was getting at is, I bet you, I want to know. Let me know how many compliments you get by doing that. I'm eager to find out. And comment, share, like, do all those fun things. And let me know where you're from. I love that too.